Arthur Schopenhauer was a philosopher whose life was defined by solitude, rebellion, and a relentless search for truth beneath the surface of the world's illusions. Born in 1788 in Danzig, now Gdansk, Poland, he was raised by a wealthy but emotionally distant merchant father and a mother who later became a popular novelist and hostess of literary salons. From an early age, Schopenhauer was torn between the commercial life his father envisioned and the life of the mind he craved. After his father's suspected suicide, he abandoned trade for philosophy, immersing himself in the works of Plato, Kant, and the Upanishads. His magnum opus, The World as Will and Representation, published in 1818, was a radical vision. He proposed that the underlying reality of the world is not reason, as the Enlightenment thinkers had suggested, but blind, irrational will, an endless striving that brings only suffering. Human desires, he argued, are insatiable. Satisfaction is fleeting. Peace comes only in aesthetic contemplation or ascetic renunciation. The work was largely ignored in his lifetime, as the intellectual world had turned toward the sunny optimism of Hegel, whom Schopenhauer loathed and scheduled his university lectures to compete against, only to find his rooms empty. Bitter and combative, Schopenhauer retreated into a life of books, walking his poodle Atma along the river Main in Frankfurt and treating the world with amused contempt. Yet in this solitude he refined his ideas and wrote with clarity and elegance rare among philosophers. He was one of the first major Western thinkers to integrate Eastern philosophy, especially Buddhism and Hindu Vedanta, into his worldview, seeing in their pessimism a confirmation of his own. Only in his later years did recognition come. Poets, artists, and musicians, especially Richard Wagner, found in his vision a profound psychological and aesthetic truth. Schopenhauer became the philosopher of artists, admired by Nietzsche, Freud, Tolstoy, and Thomas Mann. His notion that the will to live undergirds not just human striving but all of nature influenced psychology, literature, and existential thought for generations. He died in 1860, content in his final years that the world had finally started to listen. Schopenhauer's life was a paradox. A man who believed life was suffering but who produced work of luminous beauty. A misanthrope who understood the human condition more deeply than many humanists. In the end, his solitude gave voice to a truth the world could not ignore forever.